You know something? This episode of Ranpo is somewhat realistic to a certain degree. The things that we saw take place in this episode actually reflects of some things that take place right now in society and some things that are going on right now in the news. And this is going to be one of those type of episodes that are going to be very controversial and spark a lot of moral debate of what is morally right. Because with the way this episode is done, it reminds me a lot of the stuff I see from the news. Like, just recently, like, there's a thing going on right now where a cop is being accused of being a murderer, and there's so many things to where, like, the justice system can't really help all the time. And to see some of the things, like, from Ranpo, like this episode, it goes to show you the moral debate about this entire situation, because in trying to be really moral about this, the way this episode is done, you would probably be the person, if you want to be morally correct, like, you can't kill a person, you can't get revenge, you can't, prosecute this person if he's set free. For instance, if the law lets him free, if he's psycho, is he, pleads insanity, if he gets set free, he gets set free. The moral high ground is where you can't go after this guy if he's set free. But in a certain debate, let's be real here. Let's just, let's throw aside that real quick. Let's just think about this. Let's say you're in the situation of what happened to that detective in this week's episode, okay? Let's say you had a family member. I guess a little sister, alright? Let's just classify it as that, okay? You have a little sister, little brother, you're the older brother, older figure in the house, and you're caring for your sibling, your younger sibling, okay? No, let's put it this way. Let's say you're a parent, and you have a son or daughter. There you go. Or, a loved one, a very close loved one. And you've known this loved one for a very long time, years, or since, as long as you can remember. And one day, as you're doing your work, some bastard wants to get revenge against you and kills one of your family members or kills your entire family. Personally, in a situation, if that was to happen to you, think about this. Don't just go the moral high ground. Just think about this for a second. If your family was to be killed in cold blood by a person coming after you for revenge, and then they're killed, slaughtered like they were, and then like their dreams and hopes they had were just crushed like that, personally, how would you react? If justice wasn't sought after. For instance, if the person that did this crime got away with it. And that is the entire moral debate about this. Like, there's stuff like this that happens in the news nowadays, where someone could go off, kill someone, and they kind of get off scot-free if certain things happen, like with either if there's no video, or if there is, like, some form of connections to this person, or if this person is insane, like it can be proven to be insane, or try to get that type of way, then the person gets off scot-free. And this does happen. I've seen it. I personally have seen it. And it's crazy how this episode reflects that so well. I like this episode for that, but it's very controversial because if I was ever in that situation that the detective was in, I don't know personally how I'd react. I don't, because this is the type of episodes I personally like. It, like, questions, how would you react? Like, it makes you really dive into this and, like, if you were in that situation, could you remain calm? Could you remain calm? And could you stop yourself from wanting to do awful things? And if justice wasn't deserved, for instance, that person killed your family, but justice did not happen, and the cops, or whoever that, was prosecuting that person, he didn't get sent to jail or whatever, death sentence or whatever, how would you react to that? There's people right now on the news that have the exact same thing done to them, like, how certain cops nowadays, they kill people to get away with it because, yeah, I mean, they're cops, and that's happened a lot nowadays, and to see that, it's crazy. It's really crazy just seeing how this episode was. So, Ranpo. Overall episode, very simplistic in nature, to be a critic here, like, just to get critical. Episode very simplistic, and it's nothing impressive, like, so to say, like, it's 10 out of 10. It's not. It's not a 10 out of 10 episode, but it's an episode that makes you think. Like, it makes you think about what you would do in that circumstance. Maybe I'm just reading too far into it. I mean, when I watch anime, depending on the type of anime, of course. It depends on the type of anime. I tend to like to view myself as if I was in that position. Like, if I was in that character's shoes, how would I react to that? Like, I try to get emotionally connected to the characters I see on a weekly basis. Like, you know, how when I read Berserk, I got connected with Guts because his situation is fucked up so bad. Like, how would I react if I was in that situation as Guts? And I tend to do that a lot with characters from different anime and manga. And so I think about this a lot, and maybe I'm one of the only ones that do this, but I'm just curious, Chibits. Please be honest. If you were in this situation that the detective was in, and that happened to you, how would you react? What would you do? Be honest. Would you choose the moral high ground even though justice was not served, and would you still just suck it up and let it go, even though you know that person did it? Or would you do something else? I'm curious. I'm just very curious to see everybody's thoughts. But overall, decent episode. I enjoyed it. It was fun. Tell me your thoughts in the comments below. You all have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.